Today is my birthday and I'm excited, I'm pumped. We're going to be discussing in today's video is some revelations of what happens when, the cat's out the bag. I'm no longer going to be at my 9-to-5 job. The reaction, family reaction, and just overall my reaction and how it's been for me so far. And that is no more 9-to-5s, not wanting to do it and making that my choice in life. And that I guess has really shook the table. It's really I don't want to say it offended people, but it really bothered certain people more than I thought it would, because logically you're thinking, okay, this is my choice, this is what I want to do with my life at this point in time, but not so, right? You are triggering a lot of people close to you to feel like you're ruining your life, so on and so forth. And I just want to quickly say that anyone who makes you feel like your choices are not valid, that you're screwing up your life and it's not their life to live, you really have to question them a little bit, because it's one thing to voice concern, but it's another thing to pretty much act like someone's life choices are horrible and to pretty much put people down because of the choices they make in their life. Because at the end of the day, you should never feel bad for doing things that make you happy, and that goes with anything. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have one person I am related to, I'm not going to name names or say what role they have in my life, and I know they have good intentions, I know they deep down care, but they have this very destructive quality, which I think a lot of family members do have. What is that quality? It is kind of projecting, right? If they feel insecure about something, if they feel like it's something that's not a good idea, then they automatically want to make you feel like this same thing is a bad idea. So it's just almost like, if this makes them nervous, then you automatically have to feel nervous and upset and scared and not want to do this thing because you're like anxious along with them. And it's completely honestly valid, I get it, because like I said, if someone cares about you, they're going to move mountains to make sure you're good in life. Because family, I pretty much think that as long as you're doing something that makes you happy, able to do that thing and not feel guilty for doing it, not feel like you owe a bunch of people explanations, not feel like you're going to be judged for doing it. Because people that are stuck in their own rut and have justified it their whole lives, they will project that onto you and make it seem like what you're doing is crazy, it's taboo, which in a lot of ways it is. It's going against the grain of what people normally do with their lives. And when I'm talking about all this, I'm talking about my decision to just be an entrepreneur and work independently as an independent contractor and just do my own thing, not have a boss, and not have I guess all the benefits, if you want to call it that, pensions, 401k plans, all of that comes with having a typical government 9-to-5 whatever job. And I just want to state clearly that 9-to-5s are just, they're not for everyone. It's what you are bringing to your own life should be enough, if that makes sense. And if that's not enough for you, I hate to say it, something's wrong. Something's wrong, because you should never ever feel like you're living your life for someone else, if that makes sense. And for a number of years, I feel like I've been trying to impress certain people in my family. I've been trying to live my life dependent upon what would make them happy, and I was missing the big picture. Like, so many things I wanted to do, so many things I wanted to pursue, I stopped myself, literally, y'all, I stopped myself from doing it. And one thing I don't want to do is go out of this world, because life is short, it's not guaranteed. I don't want to go out of this world saying, oh, I didn't do a damn thing for myself. I did everything dependent upon others and other people's opinions. And I just want to do something that I like to do that's for me. And if it bombs, if I screw up, then okay, I screwed up, I bombed. But that was my own decision. Like, I lived my own life and it didn't work out, right? Obviously I had enough confidence in myself to feel like I was going to be fine. But like I said, I'm not ignorant. Anything can happen to you. And at a certain point, you can't like dictate your life based off of what naysayers and other people are saying, because it doesn't make much sense to do that, because at the end of the day, you have to live your own life. No one else is going to live that life for you, and you have to do that. So anyways, I'm doing my makeup in this video, so I kind of rushing through it, honestly. You know, in high school, I remember I was on the cheerleading team way long ago, and you know, I'm gonna tell you a really messed up story. I was doing cheerleading, and I came home one day. I remember I was always forced to walk home. This was before I bought my first car. It was always dark out, right? It was really dark and sketchy. And I would call one person in my family who was essentially the only person who could give me a ride home. And they would be really abusive. They would tell me, oh, just find your own ride home, walk home if you need to. And they had the option to drive me home. They could have picked me up. They just chose not to. Abusive. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. They would have me walk home a lot of the time at night when I had no other way to get home from cheerleading practice. And there was one time we had an argument, and it probably related to cheerleading. This person who probably watches my videos and knows who they are, they took my pom-poms, threw them in the trash, and then they took a bottle of pineapple soda and just dumped the drink all over my pom-poms, and I could never get them clean. They never were the same. They were just droopy and sad and lifeless. I have still one pom-pom. The other one I had to throw out because it was just completely unsalvageable. So just stuff like that, like, it traumatized me so much back then. Like, I cannot state what I really want to say, because I'm being pretty much abused and told to shut up. You know, this bad treatment's going to happen to you regardless, no matter how much you say it's wrong. And that a lot of that mindset of feeling like I have to do what this person's telling me to do, or what people are telling me to do, came from stuff like that, of just being abused essentially, and not being supported, not being, you know, helped out at all. Goodness, I came through that, you know, by the grace of the good Lord upstairs. I was just a lot stronger than most people would be in those circumstances. But when this person, this relative, this family member, took my pom-poms that I paid money for, threw them in the trash, and then doused them with pineapple juice, I could have decided to be like, oh, okay, you know, screw me, you know, you hate me, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I learned from it. I really learned how to be a stronger human being, no matter how messed up it was. And I just think it's almost like situations like that taught me how to have grace, how to be humble, and just realize that people are screwed up. People have their own problems. And the reason that this person probably did that to me, truthfully, was because they probably experienced something like that growing up themselves. Because most adults do not do that to people that are young, that are like in high school. They just don't do immature shit like that. And this same person is the one telling me that I'm screwing up my life by doing what I want to do right now. Isn't that ironic? It's ironic and sad at the same time. I'm a very, very smart person. That may be the only time I say that, because I feel like people who call themselves smart aren't really smart, but it's just an observation. I'm not a dumb person. So when things like this do happen, and you know, I'm kind of like dealing with people that treat you bad and then try and dictate how you should run your life, you have to remind yourself that these people are in their own kind of like screwed up situation mentally, and they can't escape it themselves. So, oh, my laptop's gonna die. And they have not settled their own issues. They probably have so many issues that they need to go to someone to talk about, that they're just not straightening out themselves, that it keeps them from living their best lives. It keeps them from doing things that are good for them. And I'll never be the type of person who points out other people's flaws, because that to me is kind of like, it's a waste of time, and I don't like to do that. But people tend to like not work on themselves personally, but they're the ones that have the biggest opinions of you ever. Like they have the biggest, most standout opinions of what you're doing with your life, because deep down they're not doing enough to straighten out their life. And also, this little story time is meant to be inspirational to you all, because this is something I'm dealing with in the moment, and I think it applies to a whole lot of people out there. So hopefully you found this very, very motivational and inspirational. If you did, remember to click on that like button, because it does help these videos out on my channel. And with that, no further ado, I'm gonna enjoy my birthday today, guys. August 3rd, born in 1995. I'm gonna go out and have some fun today, and I will see you all in my next video. Be well, be safe, and take care. Bye.